How long was Neil Armstrong actually on the moon? When did Europe start speaking English? Did Marco Polo really go to China? CuriosityStream is the streaming service for all things history, plus science, wildlife, and more. What's the real story behind the Mona Lisa? We've got that. What caused the collapse of Rome? We know. Where did we find mankind's earliest ancestor? Come find out. For the holidays, give the gift of curiosity with 25% off gift cards for your curious cohorts. It's holiday shopping season at curiositystream.com/gift.
If you're a last-minute gift shopper, then Instacart is your holiday rescue app this season. No more tracking packages, no more trips to the post office, and no more Christmas gifts arriving in February. Instead, you can just download Instacart to order gifts like beauty, tech, and gourmet goods from local stores and get them delivered in as fast as 1 hour. Plus, right now, you'll get free delivery on your first 3 orders. This offer is valid for a limited time. $10 minimum per order. Additional terms apply. Must be 21 plus to purchase alcohol where available.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Deep Woods podcast. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a location that we did probably about 8 months ago. We actually went to what's called the Woodbine Hotel out here in Madisonville. Really cool hotel. Very, very historical. The owner, her name is Shammy. She's a very, very nice lady. Took very good care of us, and not to mention she's an amazing cook. It is called the Woodbine Hotel and Restaurant for a reason. Again, she's a great cook, very good host. Really enjoyed staying there. And to top it off, it's truly haunted. This is probably one of the most haunted places I have ever been to. Don't want to talk too much about it because we did a show on YouTube for it, but I do want to talk about some of it. So, I don't know if you've heard my podcast before, but I've talked about the spirit box and how much I really don't like it that much, for reasons being that it's just so noisy, and it sits there and spits out a bunch of gibberish most of the time. You can't understand what it's saying. Unfortunately for the spirits, they have a hard time communicating through it, and it's just frustrating for both sides, I'm sure. So, a couple of people said, Matt, we got to use a spirit box at the Woodbine. Of course, we did EVP sessions and stuff like that. And after the ghosts were done messing with our audio through our video cameras and our audio equipment, and messing with our cameras, they kept draining our batteries and turning off stuff, which is very true for a haunted location. We ended up turning on the spirit box. And it wasn't more than a couple of minutes before that thing started spitting out stuff that I'm still shocked. I mean, I've heard it say things before, but I've never heard it that clear. I know 3 times. It just, it's what it is. What the spirit box is it's just it's a radio that basically scans through frequencies at different rates depending on what your setting is. And what that does is it creates kind of a white noise. If I'm going to show my age here, but if you've ever listened to some older TVs, when you couldn't get to a channel and you had all the white staticky stuff on the TV, it'd make that shh noise. That's pretty much what it does. It creates this thing called white noise. And the whole idea behind that is for the spirits to take that white noise and turn it into a voice. Basically manipulate the noise into a voice. So anyways, getting back to my story. So essentially that went quiet. It was like shh, and then it would just go boom. It went quiet. Which everybody's like, wait, what? Did it drain the spirit box? No. And then all of a sudden a voice would come out and say something. I don't know. I think I have my name said at least 3 times. I think my wife had her name said a couple of times, and as I went back and reviewed the video, I was just shocked at how many times something came out of that box that actually was, we could understand it, because that doesn't happen very often on investigations. I'm finding it more so recently, but in 8 years of using that thing, I've never had this much luck. I think if I counted every single clip that I actually clipped when I went back to create the show, I think there was 60 clips And it was almost 2 hours worth of video where we could show that something responds through it. And of that 40 pieces, of the 60 pieces, I think I clipped 40. And it was just so much video. And I was just shocked. That thing, oh my gosh. Those spirits there are extremely smart. They know what's going on. They were answering our questions left and right, and manipulating that device like it was nothing. It was like we were having a two-way conversation. It was the best thing I've ever seen in my life. It was just awesome. We'd ask a question, what's your name? Ezekiel, which is a very hard name to say. The owner's name is Shammy. And we were sitting in there with her doing an investigation during the day, when she had a few minutes, which was very nice for her to sit down with us and do. And it said her name. Her name came through there. And then we had the little boy that came through in that area. And there was just so many cool things. His name was Danny. And then I went up to rooms 4 because, and I don't want to get into this too much, but some people had an experience the night before. And I think we talked about that a little bit in our show. But I wanted to see if I could communicate with this little girl. And sure enough, of course, she told me to get out. Typical little kid. Get out of my room. But she, I picked up on a couple of voices in that room. And then I went out to what they call the foyer, which is just basically the common area when you go up to the second level, where there's a couple tables and stuff. And that male voice, it said something, and I still don't understand what it means. If you're listening, I can't remember what it said. I think it said FTS or something like that, which I just don't understand. You have to go watch the show. But I've been trying to figure out what that means. I've looked it up several times. I just don't know. I don't know if it's somebody's initials or what it is. But it said it twice, and then the craziest thing happened. All of a sudden, he was talking to a female spirit on the actual spirit box. They were having a conversation on the spirit box, and so it was just crazy. But that's not the only thing that happened. One night, I think it was Christy and I and a few other people were staying the night, and we went back just to collect some more data, or by data I mean evidence. And we're sleeping in this one room, and all of a sudden, I don't think Christy could smell it. Didn't wake her up. She was over there snoring logs, but I woke up and I could smell what smelled like sugar cookies. And I'm like, am I dreaming? So I sat there for a few minutes, and I just sat there and sat there and sat there. But no, something smelled like sugar cookies. I thought the owner was downstairs cooking sugar cookies. And then I looked at the time. It was 2:30 in the evening. 2:30 in the morning. I know she wasn't back that early. I think she gets back around 6 in the morning or so. But yeah, just crazy. I'm like, where is this smell coming from? But it smells so good. And then I actually had a DVR camera, a home security camera, that basically was watching me sleep. And as I slept, the lamp that was next to me, I guess a couple times started to light up. Well, if you watch our DVR camera from downstairs in the bar, you'll see us basically talking to the spirit the first night we were there. And essentially, for some reason, this bar light that hadn't worked all night long, we were trying to use it as a prop, all of a sudden just starts lighting up. And we don't know if that was Danny who was messing with it or another spirit, but it was just crazy. So I'm almost wondering if the two kind of went hand in hand, because we asked him to light it up, and it's just one of those little battery operated little candles that sits into a little lamp, but it didn't work. We tried it. We turned it on, turned it off, replaced. We didn't replace the battery. I don't think we took the battery out, but it hadn't worked all night long. And then all of a sudden it lit up. So it's so strange that something starts to light up the the light on besides the bedstand. That was just insane. So, anyways, that's just a couple of the things that happened. Avery's attack, I was asking Amanda to talk about that because she was more involved with it than I was. Let me kind of go into that a little tiny bit. Avery's attack essentially may have happened because I was working on another investigation the night before. Unfortunately, it was on the demonic side. And essentially, I was trying to help a family. We had just cleansed this house of negative energy, and they were still having issues. I basically was telling one of the daughters, older daughters, how to protect herself and how to deal with these things. And I could feel there was some anger coming from the other side, not from the daughter, but coming from the entity that essentially wanted to mess with her. And essentially it just didn't want me to tell her that. And I think it came after me that night, but it couldn't get to me. So unfortunately, poor Avery got attacked, I believe. So anyways, that's kind of the backstory on that. Like I said, when you watch the show on our YouTube channel, you'll see what happens. It's Deep Woods Paranormal, Texas, if you're looking for us on YouTube. But yeah, just an amazing place. I don't know how many times we had K2 hits. We had Spirit Fox. One even said what the guy's name was Bob. And what was cool is the owner actually sent us a picture, and we were able to figure out who Bob was. We believe he was an old government agent, but he worked for the government under the governor, and he used to frequent the Woodbine, and essentially he would host parties there for the governor or whatever else to raise funds. So I believe that maybe he still resides there or checks in there. All in all, throughout the night, I think we spoke to 7 or 8 different entities that could possibly be haunting the Woodbine. Other things that happened when we were upstairs, we were taking a break after Avery's event. We were in a different room than the one where the sugar cookie smell happened. We were in, I can't remember what room it was, 6 or 7 or something like that. Anyways, so we had a cupboard that basically had just been sitting there all night. Nothing had been opened, nothing had moved. And all of a sudden these wardrobe doors just fly open. And it caught all of us because we were in the middle of having a quick team meeting before we went back down or whatever. And just caught us by surprise. And unfortunately, we didn't have a camera on at that time. And we're like, what in the world? So we went back, of course, to try and debunk it and try and figure out what it was. So we, numerous times, and we jumped on the floor. We tapped the side of it. We walked across the room. We did all these things to try and make it happen again, and it never happened. It was just so strange. We have no answer to that. I guess when Amanda and Avery were hanging out in the room together, they actually heard the bedroom door jiggle, and they thought it was me coming back in. And then I guess the door actually did open by itself, but nobody was there. They looked out there and they're like, "Okay, where are you?" In fact, Amanda called me on the phone, "Where are you?" And I guess I was outside at the car dragging more equipment in. So that's also strange. Never did hear any footsteps basically running up and down the stairs, which is some of the reports. Maybe Danny. But definitely seemed like there's a young lady there who is very territorial of her space. She doesn't hurt anybody or anything, but she just likes her room a lot. So if you ever stay in room 6, just be aware of that. You might want to request that room. It's kind of a smaller room, but has its own bathroom and stuff, and essentially just a cool room. But that little girl may mess with you if you go into that room. So the foyer and everything, I talked about the foyer. Supposedly the kitchen has activity. We saw shadows and stuff like that walking around in there. If you ever do go investigate the Woodbine Hotel, Shammy was telling us that you always have to leave an open chair, and that seemed to work for us. Like I said, if you watch the show, you'll see some crazy, amazing footage that Gil ended up getting. That was awesome. I mean, that's probably the best thermal image I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he got 2 pictures of whatever it was, and it seemed like it was just raining Amanda Adams and making her cold. So, but yeah, like I said, you got to watch the show to see that. I mean, that's just an amazing piece of footage. Unfortunately, some of the other stuff you didn't see on the show, we kept seeing a little shadow. We don't know if it was Danny, or unfortunately we don't have the little girl's name, but some kind of little entity kept darting around into the ballroom or the dining room as we were sitting there doing our VP session. That's why the second camera got put up on the table, and that's the one that, if you're watching the show, there's quite a bit of clear spirit box hits on that. So anyways, just, if you get a chance, please go over to our YouTube channel and watch the Woodbine Show. I think you'll just be thrilled. It's a really cool show filled with a ton of evidence. Like I said, that's probably one of the most haunted places I've ever been into. And I've been through thousands of places, literally thousands, if not a couple thousand. I used to do homes. We help people in homes. We've been through a lot of said to be haunted locations, hotels and stuff like that. Amanda and I have been through just so many. But anyways, the Woodbine is probably up in I'd say in my top 3 of haunted locations. And we went back there. We actually did a Halloween special there, and it continued. I mean, they just seem to know what the spirit box is and what it does, and they are just super intelligent. They seem to know what's going on. I mean, if you listen through some of the spirit box hits, we asked what was here before, and it answered correctly: hotel. The hotel that was built in 1897 or something was only there for about 7 years. Unfortunately, it burned down, and now the hotel that's there is actually smaller than it was, but it's there. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you tuning in and listening. Like I said, please go watch the Woodbine Hotel YouTube on our YouTube channel. Again, it's Deep Woods Paranormal Texas. We really appreciate you guys listening. The Woodbine is a very special place. We really enjoyed our stays there, and if you get a chance to get out there, like I said, it's probably one of the most haunted locations I've ever been to, and I've been through quite a few places in my lifetime. I've experienced quite a bit, but nothing like that. So again, have a great rest of your evening, and thank you guys for listening.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Check out great deals at Safeway. This week at Safeway, 1 pound of strawberries or 6 ounces of blueberries, raspberries, or blackberries are 3 for $12. Member price. Plus get value packs of USDA Choice boneless beef tri-tip roast, untrimmed twin packs for $3.87 per pound with digital coupon. Limit 2 packages. And local green or red seedless grapes for the member price of $1.88 per pound. Also at Safeway, 16 ounces of Jenny-O turkey. Selected varieties are buy one, get one free. Visit Safeway.com or head in store for more deals.